allowed to call them in? I mean, is it like a never-ending supply?
Yeah,
of
well, yeah. Well,
machines?
so you've got a stockpile. So you've basically got, you've got, let's say 5 or 6 of these tanks in your stockpile. You can call 5 or 6 in. If you want to get more, you've got to go back to the faction, talk to them. If they're happy with you, they'll sell you more. That's one of the interesting things about the game is that the different people you work with, if you annoy them, it's kind of a little bit like the first game, but I think we've done a much better job making it kind of clearer and more integrated into the game this time. If you annoy the faction, they'll stop selling you stuff. They're like, no, what? Screw you. You've been shooting our guys and stealing our stuff. We're not going to sell you this stuff.
Similar to the first game in that there's a gauge, sort of.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
You are with heat traction and stuff.
We have a very cool. We've kind of bumped it up a little bit here. We've got a very cool mechanic we call reporting, where they'll actually kind of report on you. So you'll actually be playing and messing with them. And you'll actually see them, they'll run and they'll go hide and they'll call their boss and they're like, hey, the mercenary's here, he's screwing with us. And if you can hunt them down and kill them before they finish calling you in, you can actually get away with blowing up all their stuff. So the player's got a really great way of managing their faction hits, which is really cool.
Obviously the airstrikes are a pretty huge part. Are there any super crazy amazing ones that
we're kind of escalating here. We're going from the Jeep to the monster truck with the tank. Here Ali's getting pursued by a helicopter. I don't know if you can see. So I think Ali's going to turn it around here and try and take the helicopter. We have a really cool grappling hook so you can grapple onto helicopters. But yeah, we're kind of going to build up to one of the bigger airstrikes in the game. We'll show you that in a couple of minutes. But so one of the really cool things about the game, tanks are one of the most powerful things probably. You can pretty much take out anything. But helicopters are one thing that's kind of more powerful than a tank. So here Ali's kind of decided to ditch out of the helicopter. He's going to slam this guy's head in the door, have a little mini game up there.
Should have an option of being able to pull him up into the blades and stuff, but then unfortunately
well, you know what?
We
each vehicle in the game that you can hijack has its own kind of mini game, and a lot of them are really funny. They have their own little stories that go on with them, and they can all be failed in multiple ways. So that's there's some that are pretty hilarious. What you do to the poor victims.
Pretty awesome.
Well, hilarious if you're not on the receiving end.
Yeah.
So now so obviously this puts a whole different perspective on the game. So, a minute ago we were on tanks, we were calling in airstrikes. Now we're having aerial dogfighting with another helicopter. These helicopters, you can blow them up in lots of different ways. Here, Ali actually managed to shoot through the windscreen and take out the pilot, so it just kind of crashed. I think that's given Ali an idea of what he can do with his helicopter. So you can always use a helicopter as a kind of flying bomb. Literally everything in the game is destructible. We took that as a kind of religion on the game. We were just like, everything comes apart in a kind of cool looking way.
Since it all does come apart, can you get wounded or hurt from shrapnel from
absolutely,
everything
yeah.
falling
So any kind of big chunks that come up are going to kind of hurt you, crush you. If you can arrange so that things fall over on enemies, it'll crush them. It'll crush tanks and stuff like that. So it's a really kind of cool extra mechanic for people. You can conserve a lot of ammo if you can collapse a bridge or a building on someone.
Oh, so there's one of those.
Yeah, so there's another one, exactly.
There's one of those humorous ones.
Yeah, exactly. Every time we show that to people, everyone goes, "Ew, he jumped in there after doing that? That's so gross." But hey, you're a mercenary. You do what it takes.
Oh God, I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
I'm sorry for putting that image in.
No,
sticky.
no,
It's very sticky in there.
Added a whole new dimension to the game.
So yeah, we want Ali to kind of show you a pretty cool airstrike here. So so he's taking this tank. We're going to go in. Something that's kind of cool and fun. Something I love as someone who works on the game. Something that still excites me is just the constant transitions from on-foot gameplay, into vehicles, into helicopters. You're just constantly getting a different view on the game. Like here, we're doing our little Gears of War impersonation. A little bit of stop and pop here. But I thought we'll get Ali to kind of finish things off in a very kind of mercenary style.
Let's end it with a bang.
Finishing things off, let's move on to reader questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think this is pronounced as Yasker. I'm hoping. Are there going to be more classes besides the 3 that were shown in the past?
Well, I think Yoska means by classes the 3 characters, and we got the 3 mercs from the first game coming back, but we've given them a pretty substantial upgrade in terms of their character and style. They got custom outfits that you can use. Right, so that's the tactical nuke that you can call into the game.
Nice.
So explosion that literally won't fit on the screen.
All right, now.
And like anything, that's something that you can earn in the game. You can call it in anywhere. You can see what happens when you call that in anywhere you want, anytime you like. But yeah, no. So it's the 3 characters that are coming back. They each have their own special abilities and specialities, but all of them are awesome in their own way.
Awesome. Now, just a follow-up question to that, still from Yasker. The game looks sweet, which
Thanks.
I mean, it does.
That
was awesome.
Thank you.
Are there any plans on licensing the engine behind the game?
I don't think there's any specific plans in place. Never say never. Let's see what the future holds. Right now we want to get Mercs into the hands of gamers everywhere. We really hope everyone's excited, and we want to see everyone out there and playing it. and then we'll see.
Now, you had mentioned a little special something something at the end of this. Was the nuke?
Yeah,
that
the
was
nuke
it?
was what we wanted to show you.
Not that that was bad. Don't get me wrong.
You want us to top that? What's
I
wrong
just
with
want to
you?
make sure we covered all of our bases. Will, do you have any follow-up questions you want to mention, or are you pretty?
When can we expect to see Mercenaries too?
So Mercs, we're shipping worldwide August 31st here in North America, September 5th in Europe, and that's coming out PS3, 360, PS2, and PC. And so, yeah, we're really excited to be bringing it to the world. Great.
Awesome. Well, it certainly looks sweet. I mean,
Thanks.
You did not disappoint on the explosions.
Thanks.
And fans of the first game should be getting what they want. We will be back after a short break with, guess what, guys? More game demos.
Woohoo! Woo!